Hi everyone, it's Tara O. Thank you so much for watching this interview because I'm actually really excited and naked. But I have with me Rosie Rees, who is a sex and relationship coach for couples, for singles. And she just does the most amazing work. And the first time that I met Rosie, she came to one of my workshops over in Perth, Great Sex Matters, and I just instantly had a lady crush on her. She was bright, she was authentic, and she had this kind of confidence that you just knew that she really walked her talk. And I just love women who are inspiring and taking on the world and doing what they want to do to see change and to make differences. So I was so thrilled when Rosie said yes to coming on and having a chat about one of her big projects that she's doing at the moment, which is Nude Yoga, going all around Australia, which we're going to talk about in a moment. But before when Rosie and I started this chat, we were sitting there with our clothes on, having a little bit of a girly catch up, and then we were like, what are we doing? Let's just strip off because it's nude yoga and we're women and we love our bodies, so let's do it in the nud. So I wanted to say welcome, Rosie. Thanks so much for coming. And it was your birthday yesterday. Happy birthday.
Thank you, beautiful. The feeling is very mutual. As soon as I met you in Perth, it was like, wow, this woman does everything I do and I just want to connect with her. So I'm so excited to be here and be butt naked with you. Good idea.
What I think is a really important point and thing to bring up is that when women are working within the same field, I think there's sometimes the idea that we have to compete or we have to be, not let people in close enough because we fear that competition, right? But what I felt from you was just this overloading of love and like how can we collaborate? How can we do things together to serve our audiences and our communities and bring the message together, which I love because, man, we need to support women, and women helping other women is just the best damn thing.
And I think that's just the way it is at the moment with the rise of the divine feminine. The healthy feminine, the mature divine feminine supports other women. She doesn't put them down. She doesn't, feel that competitive nature. It might arise, but it just feels so right to support you and what you're doing. I can't be everywhere at once, and it's so great that there's other women out there supporting, the Jade Egg and talking about tantra, talking about sex, talking about nudity. I just think it's the yoni massage, it's just like you're another clone of me, and I love that.
No, that's awesome. So, Rosie, why don't you tell us a little bit about your journey to coming into the work that you do, and then going into the work that you're doing and what you're promoting at the moment?
Yeah. So I guess it's about 3 or 4 years ago now, and I found myself in a pretty toxic relationship, Tara. I was depressed. I was full of anxiety. I was overweight, and I had plenty of addictions that were kind of just tying me over. And I was actually living in Sydney. I was in a corporate job, and it was just eating my soul. And so it took me about 3 or 4 months to really get myself out of that situation. And at the time, it was just the most awful, the most awful time of my life. But getting out of that, I was set free. I was just like, I just wanted to be single and wanted to take on the world, and I wanted to write and I wanted to blog, and he really never let me do any of that. So when I became single, I just had all my friends come to me going, Rosie, I really need some relationship advice, or I need to get out of this relationship, or this or that. And I was doing it just for free because I really wanted to help other women get out of unhealthy relationships and know that they don't have to stay in them just because it's a relationship. A lot of people are scared of being alone, so they just put up with whatever they've got. And I was doing that for a long time. So once I really pulled my finger out, away I went, and I became a relationship coach. I found yoga, and I really feel like it's just been natural progression to be doing nude yoga now. I went over to India and cleaned up my body with yoga, with meditation, with being vegetarian, and then from that, nude yoga has just come into my world now. It feels so right. It feels more normal to teach nude yoga than it does to teach regular yoga. I go into my yoga classes going, why are we clothed? This is weird.
Actually, that's so funny because often I have to do photo shoots and things, and there's all this kind of pressure around the makeup and the clothes and things. And I once had a beautiful nude photo shoot with a lady called Heather, and I remember doing it, and I had no makeup on. I was naked. It was not airbrushed or anything, and I was like, this. I feel the most relaxed and the most sexy because I'm not being anything. I'm just being myself. What you see is what you get, and it's sort of like the more you put on, the more you kind of expectation that you build and the more barriers that you put in the world. So
absolutely.
is incredible.
You're stripping back the layers of clothes and the layers of inhibitions and insecurities. And I hold a 4-week nude yoga course, and we become so close. There's nothing between us, you know, literally no clothes, no nothing. And just being so vulnerable with each other. And a lot of people go, you know, why do you have to be nude? Why can't you just do regular yoga? And that's a great question. But I always say, you know, why not? It's something so natural. It's our birthday suit, you know. And by taking it off, you're becoming vulnerable. And to be vulnerable, it takes strength. So the way I see it is, you're building strength, and whatever you can harness and cultivate on the yoga mat, you can bring that vulnerability to your workplace. You can bring that vulnerability to your relationship, and you have to be vulnerable in relationships to be able to break through those layers. So
goosebumps when you were saying about the stripping off and becoming vulnerable, and there being strength in that, because for a lot of women, I know being naked is incredibly vulnerable, and it's seen as something at your most intimate and something to almost to hide from. So to literally step into that space and go, I am vulnerable and I'm nude and I'm still putting a positive spin on it and celebrating it is so powerful. That vulnerability.
Well, we're kind of told that vulnerability is a weakness, but it's not. You know, it's such a superpower. It's such a strength, and you can break through so many barriers and blocks being vulnerable, because you're owning yourself, you're owning your body, you're owning how you feel. And some women come in and it's just no biggie. You know, they're naked and they're just doing yoga. Other women go through complete transformations and really learn how to love their body. And that's what happened for me, I guess, is self-acceptance. I began to, because I discovered nude yoga just in my backyard in Perth, Tara. It was hot. I was like, oh, I don't feel like going to a yoga class. I'm just going to take my clothes off.
Get a suntan.
Yeah, get a suntan while I'm doing it. And I had this big, beautiful backyard with the trees, and it was beautiful. So I put my mat down, took all my clothes off, and it just felt so liberating and so empowering. And, you know, the sun on my skin, the wind in my hair, the earth beneath my feet, it just felt like, wow, I want to bring this to women in a safe, why can't I bring this to women in a safe, honoring space, in a studio, and really bring that power to it. I mean, obviously I'd love to do it outside in summer, and I really want to do a nude yoga retreat where we can do it outside, because it feels even better. So that's how I discovered it, and I really feel it's time. People are open to it. People are ready. There was the skinny dip in Bondi, the skinny dip swim. Did you do that?
Yes, I did. Yes.
Good, awesome. And then there was
And it's incredible because the nudity becomes such a non-issue. I've also been to a couple of, I did a story about a nudist holiday park. And then, of course, actually even my partner and I walked past a nudist beach on the weekend, just walking around the harbour. And it's such a, it's not like you're starting to you're not looking at anybody's bits. What you're looking at is the overall energy of this kind of beautifulness, and there's this beautiful beach for women only. And one of my very best girlfriends and I go there, and women of all sorts of shapes and sizes and backgrounds and you know, really diverse culturally. It's just the energy of the place and the supportiveness of women that it's transformational.
And that's exactly what happens in the yoga classes. Is it builds this just this reverence, this respect. It builds this affinity of the women together. They just think that you feel like they're your sisters. You know how women can be quite judgmental, looking at people, you know, just going, oh, she's, you know, fat, skinny, whatever. Then you get naked with each other in a yoga class, and you just see beauty. That's all. You can't actually see anything else. You just think, wow, you are so beautiful. And you also see that she has cellulite, she has stretch marks, she's got huge nipples, or she's got something going on. And you're like, oh, so do I. You know, it's,
oh my God, we're the same.
yeah, like it's like, oh, okay, that we're not so weird. We're not so imperfect because we're all the same. And that really helps move something deep within. And you also, with what we do in the course, is we talk about stuff openly because we're so bare and vulnerable. We just talk about whatever comes through. And then other women are sitting around going, oh, I thought I was the only one. And then it opens up so much, Tara. It's incredible.
Oh, it sounds so good. So tell us a little bit about your tour, because you're going around the whole of Australia, and I think I've got some dates here. You're starting in Melbourne. You're going to Melbourne, Sydney, Lake, Macquarie, Brisbane, Rockhampton, Mackay, Gold Coast. I mean, you're on a roll, sister. That is amazing. So tell us a little bit about what somebody could expect from going into one of your workshops. Do we just rock up nude, or do we?
Ideally, don't wear any underwear. You don't need to. But come fully clothed, but bring a sarong, bring a kimono, a robe. Some women bring their big fluffy, leopard print, cozy, dressing gowns. You can bring that if you want to. So bring a yoga mat, bring a towel and a bottle of water, and basically you turn up, you go and get undressed. You don't have to worry about what to wear. I was about to go get changed. Just go get undressed. Put your robe on and then come in, and it's going to be a heated space. It's dark. All the classes I teach are at nighttime, around 6 to 7 o'clock at night. I'll have all the mats down ready. You just need to find a space, put your towel down, and that's it, really. And then let me guide you through. We might have a discussion at the start and just feel into all the women and the energy in the room. Every class is so different just because all the women are different, So sometimes it's really playful and fun. Other times it's so deep and meaningful, and there's tears and you're feeling this rawness there. So I like to gauge the energy in the room. There's usually only about 20 to 30 women max in a class. Then we get started, and we'll disrobe or unveil your beautiful body probably about 5 or 10 minutes after the meditation, after some breath work. And by that time you want to take it off. You're like, come on already, let's just get it off. Yeah. Yep. And then after 5 minutes of that,
it's done by candlelight, so there's a beautiful atmosphere. And yeah,
no fluorescent lights.
No fluorescent lights.
No, God, no. It's dark, it's candlelit, it's ambient, it's beautiful. I love to bring in crystals, so bring in big selenite towers and put them in the corners of the room, salt lamps. I really like to make it a full experience, a full healing experience. It's not just yoga. And that's kind of what you discover when you come in. It's actually nothing to do with yoga. The yoga is very gentle. It's very restorative. I might do some breath work. I might hold some positions for 5 minutes. I might do some warriors. Usually no downward dogs, Tara. A lot of people, it brings up a lot of fear for people. They're like, oh no, I'm not coming. We'll do downward dogs. No, not at all. It's very non-invasive, smooth, gentle, beautiful, womanly, nourishing. Yeah.
And what would you say to a woman who was perhaps watching this who thought, wow, that sounds like something I would really love to give it a try, or perhaps I'm not feeling so confident in my body, or not giving myself enough love and nourishment, but still holding a little bit of hesitation or resistance towards coming to one of your workshops? What would you say to her?
I think listen to your intuition. I think you'll know if you're ready to come. It's for some people and it's not for other people, and I definitely don't push this practice on anyone. I think intuitively if you're ready. If you do have body image issues or eating disorders or self-harm or anything that you've had in the past or even in the present, you can bring that in there and just work through it. It is a safe, healing, honoring space. It is dark. The focus is on you. It's really not on any other woman beside you, because they're in their own little bubble too. But in saying that, Tara, there's no shame in if you do tend to look at another woman or see something and observe or witness other women in the room, it's so natural to want to kind of look and go, you know, is she kind of, you know, look like me? Or it's because there's so much taboo around nakedness.
Yeah.
We don't see many nude people, you know, unless you're at a beach or in pornography, right? So there's this expectation of what a woman should look like. And in nude yoga, you realize that, oh no, she doesn't look like that. She's not plastic. So there's this obviously there's this curiosity of the women in the room. So and I never shame women if they do tend to look at somebody else, but the focus is on you. It's this bubble in your mat, what's going on for you. And that's where the transformation happens, not looking at other people's bodies and going, oh, you know, comparing yourself, because that's just that brings you out of the present moment, which isn't the purpose of yoga.
Bruce, I feel like I could talk to you about this for days, because I love everything that you say, and I love your passion, and what I love is your genuine, your authenticness. That's not even a word. Your
authenticity.
Authenticity, that's the word. Really live what you teach and what you're doing, and I think it's just so beautiful. So where can women buy the tickets to come to this incredible workshop?
So just head to my website, www.rosierees, ROSIEREES.com. And then you can just click on, there's yoga, and then there's the tour dates there. So it's all through Tribe Booking, so you just need to place the booking through them. And once you've booked, I'll give you a phone call probably the week beforehand. There's a list there, everything you need to bring. So just make the booking, trust yourself, enjoy the process. Once you book the ticket for Nude Yoga, there's this process that happens of like excitement and like, oh yay, I can't wait. And then there's this terror. There's this like fear of life and nervousness and anxiety. And it's like really just observe the layers and the waves of emotion that come through, because it takes balls, it takes strength to turn up to a nude yoga class. And then you'll get there and you'll be like, oh, this is so easy.
Where did all those emotions come from? This is nothing like I expected it. It's completely liberating. Rosie, thank you so much.
And if you do come, sorry, I just want to mention, if you do come, you're going to inspire other women. So it's like a lot of people go, oh, no, that's not for me. No, thanks. I'll pass. But then think about, if you decide to go, if you decide to really make that choice, you're going to inspire like so many other women to think, oh, maybe I can do it. You know, like be brave, be bold, be courageous.
A wonderful thing that women share is that they're open communication. So from suggesting to a friend, oh, this is what I'm doing Friday night, and then perhaps your friend's listening and going, oh, God, I would really love to do something like that. Or, oh, yeah, I could do with a little bit of extra self-love, or would love to try. And then it just gives everybody permission to be able to go, oh, let's all unveil together. Let's all do it. Let's all, you know, show up for ourselves, which is amazing.
And that's exactly right. It is a physical act of self-love. You know, you can have affirmations, you can do meditation and all this, but this is an actual physical act of loving yourself.
Yeah. Absolutely. And I think it's so important. And I think it's such an amazing tool and an amazing gift that you can give yourself. And it's about doing it. It's like, oh God, I could keep reaffirming everything that you say. But it is such an important practice, I think, for all women. And all women need to go to Rosie's website and check it out, and check out her website. It's just full of amazing tips and blogs and products and things like that. So Rosie, thank you so much for being with me today. I'm getting a little chilly, so I am going to go.
Me too. I've got the heater on here down my feet.
So much, my darling, and we will talk very soon.
Thank you, Tara. Thank you for all your support and love. I love you, and I can't wait to see you in my class.
Oh, I'll be there, like front row center.
In the flesh.
In the flesh. Bye, darling.
Thanks, Tara.
Bye.